Hitting a slump again, guys, feeling negative, going down the spiral into some black hole. If that's how you feel and you want to know how to possibly get out of that, stick around and watch this video. That's what I'm going to share with you tonight. Hi, my name is Jacques Snyman and I make videos to help you create a more secure future for you and your family. I'm on the journey with you, just maybe a little bit ahead of you. Today is not scripted, guys. I'm just sharing honestly. It's one of those days. It's my 21st video. I should be excited. I should feel as if I've achieved something, right? I'm not. It's been a rather challenging day, shall we say. I'm just sharing my emotions with you, on this video, and I'm also sharing with you what I then did to actually get out of that. I had a choice. I could either sit in that and waddle in it for the rest of the day. I decided not to, and I'll share with you now what I did. I first of all did the first thing. The first step is to just become aware of your feelings, your emotions, where you are. We spoke about this before. The very first step in terms of changing those limiting beliefs is a level of awareness. So I went into myself and I felt, where does it sit in the body? What does it feel like? For me, today it sat right in my stomach. It caused a nauseating feeling within me. So that's what I experienced. That's where I went. I tried to verbalize my emotions and I still struggle with that, although I've been working with that for years and years and years. I just find it difficult, and I think lots of technical people find it difficult. I've got this little tool called an emotion wheel, which just explains how emotions are described. I've made this thing and I've used it numerous times on leadership development programs over the years. I also use it for myself. So today I was in the uncomfortable range. I felt feelings like off balance and unsure. I then moved into the fear space. Now, fear starts with being concerned and it ends with being terrified, right? So I went through the emotions of concern, apprehension, worry, and anxiousness. And that's kind of where it topped out for me today. So I didn't go right down the scale in terms of fear into frightened, scared, panicked, and then terrified. I didn't get there, but I did go up to anxiousness. So this little tool, very simple, very straightforward, but it does help, and it does help me verbalize my emotions or my feelings. So I use that, and that awareness process got me to understand exactly where I am in terms of feeling and where it sits in my body. How did I get out of that? I kind of questioned my thinking again and realized, one of the things I shared with you before, I realized again that it is not the experience, but it is the meaning I attached to the experience. I questioned my thinking and I realized that I'm making this thing much worse than what it really is. I have really no real reason to be concerned right now as I'm sitting here in this moment today. If this were 4 months down the line, it might be different and nothing had changed. So I really don't have any reason today to be too concerned or to feel as bad as I did today. So that was the first realization. Again, it just implies that the meaning that I attach to an experience is what really causes the suffering, if you want, in life. All those bad feelings and the fact that all your thinking then tends to go down, 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 down into some form of a negative spiral. So a couple of other things I did. I just literally did the Superman stance, guys. That's just physical state, if you want. So I stood with my hands literally on my hips for like 2 minutes or so, picked up my chin and just looked up. That physiologically changes your state, right? I also did some breathing. I took some deep breaths in. If you want to learn this when you feel overwhelmed, just take a deep breath in, and when it feels like you can't no more, just stop and take another quick little breath, and then take a long breath out. I did that for a couple of times, 3, 4, 5 times. I then also spent just time with me. I just sat down and analyzed my thinking. I realized that my thinking is leading me to a place where I'm asking the wrong question. I'm asking the question that says, what if nothing works? Right? That kind of question, my brain is a goal-achieving machine, so my brain will go and look for the answers to that question. What if nothing works? My brain then went into a spiral and started looking for those answers. I became aware of that, I realized that, and then I stopped that process. I changed that thinking with, what if it all works out? just the opposite of my previously concerned way of thinking. So I changed that to ask, what if it all works out? All of a sudden, my brain started working on answers to that question, right? So again, it's not the experience, it's the meaning we attach to the experience. I became acutely aware of that. Another thing I did is just focused for the rest of the day. This was roughly after lunch this afternoon. Started focusing on seeing if I could see any miracles happening in life. I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm keeping my eyes open, so I'm expectant of miracles, right? And then I just repeated my basic process that I shared with you before already in terms of how do you actually change limiting beliefs. I did the whole process again. I went through the intention again, and remember I shared with you before, my intention is to double my income by a certain date. I then also went through the mantras or the affirmations. I repeated them like I do every single day, and I've kept to that drumbeat. And then the third step I did is I just reflected. I just sat back. After that, those 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 minutes that I spent, I just sat back, reflected on what it would look like and what it would feel like in that future picture that I'm busy creating. And those are the couple of things that I did. And I must admit, it is late at night. I do, however, feel better. I will give you some more feedback tomorrow when I do the next video. I will share with you how I feel in the morning. I'm going to have a good night's rest. Tomorrow, I'm also planning to share with you yet another method by which you can actually identify those limiting beliefs and then start slowly but surely changing them one by one. Just if you like this, if you find some value in this, like or subscribe, hit the button below. You know how this works. That helps the algorithm see that there's somebody that finds some value out of the stories I'm sharing. So let's chat again tomorrow.